Well, hello again, friends. This is Larry with the Wiley Worm Farm. We're going to do a feeding on my worms, but first of all, I want to introduce you to my buddy. This is Buddy, my dog, and he is, here I am later in life. First time in my life that I have ever had a dog. This is my dog. Now, he's a good family dog, but he is my buddy. So let's get over the worm bin and we'll continue with this video. Okay, folks, I'm back here at my worm bin, and you can see I got two worm bins here. I got my bigger tray. Now, this tray here, I bought a couple of these. I bought these from Lowe's, I think. Lowe's or Home Depot one. Lowe's, I believe it was. And this tray here is about 24 inches long and about 18 or 19 inches wide. And this works perfect for me. I'm going to later, if you back up just a little bit, Mr. Cameraman, I'm going to later build a rack for this thing to slide in. It's just going to hang right over here. And hopefully I get that done next week, get started on the rack next week, and I'll be able to slide these right in here and store my bins here. But in the meantime, I've got in this bin is my original worm bin. I started out with 150 worms and then bought another 150 by March the 8th. And this is the bin I've got them in. I thought that I had them in too big a bin, but I've decided later that was a mistake. So I want to uncover these. And I'll lay this right here for the meantime. And then I'm going to dump this bin into the bigger bin and use the bigger bin. And I'll show you what's going on here, folks. I all my worms and all my bedding into this bin here. And boy, I tell you what, I am surprised how wet and moist this bin is. I'm going to have to dig all this out of here. This is the most moisture I think I've had yet. But folks, if you've been in the worm business, you know that the worm business is a learning process. And I've already started this year. I started actually on the 17th of January this year raising worms. I knew nothing at all about worms until I started into this. The only thing I knew about worms is just using the fish with it, and that's all I knew. I see a few more worms crawling around here. I'm going to try to dump them out. Sorry for the noise there, folks. I'll go back later and make sure I don't have any worms left in there. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to aerate this bin. Oh, gosh, I got a lot of moisture here. A lot of moisture, and I see some kind of food. Oh, this is I remember the last time I was in this bin, I put a toilet paper roller in here, and I filled it up with corn husk, and I see a few worms in there. Not a lot, but I see a few worms in this corn husk. And I'm going to lay this toilet paper roller aside, put it in with some more, and put this corn husk aside for now. Now what I'm going to do is aerate this bin real well. I give them a pretty good feeding. Actually, it's been 6 days ago. My normal process on this is on Friday on this particular bin. And the last time I did this on Saturday. But we're going to go back. And I had a 2/3 head of lettuce. I remember that. I had a 2/3 head of lettuce. And they've eaten probably half of that. So I'll give them the rest of that here in a little bit. And I want to get this bin ready to get the castings out in a few weeks. So what I'm going to do here is once I get these things aerated real good, and I see a good healthy population of worms. I think the last time I was in here I said I had about 1,000, 1,200 worms. My population is growing on a regular basis, and I'm really quite happy with this. I'm going to get all these worms that I can down to this end of the bin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed them in this end of the bin. Well, I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little confused here. I'm going to put them like this, and I'm going to feed at this end of the bin. That's what I'm going to do here. So we'll get ready for my feeding here. Make me a spot here to put my food in. But I've learned this from watching some of your videos. Some ideas here, if I can find my... Well, I had a piece of cloth here, not cloth, but paper towel, and I was going to put that in there, but I don't find that paper towel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of that head of lettuce right here. Actually, I'm going to put it closer to this end of the bin here. I'm going to try to get them to migrate to this end of the bin so I can start casting try to start getting the casting out from that end. So I'm going to put this, what's left of this lettuce, like I say, I had about 2/3 of the head about 6 days ago, and they worked through some of that, but I've also got some peaches. I understand that worms love peaches, so I'm going to put those peaches in there as well. I got some more lettuce out to feed them with, but I'm going to hold off on that. So I'm going to cover this lettuce, these peaches up real good. I'm on my purpose again. I'm going to try to get all of these worms to migrate from this end of the bin down to here. I was about to forget about this little bit of food here. I'll put it back in here. This is my first time of doing a migration, folks. Like I say, in the worm business, we live and we learn. And then I'm going to put my newspaper head back in here. I have to get me another piece of newspaper here before too long. Put my newspaper in here. You hear my dog, my buddy here in the background. He has a fit to get in here, and then he has a fit to get out of here. Put this in here, and then put my bubble wrap on here. I'm going to have to get me some more bubble wrap because I'm going to a bigger bin, but right now this is what I have. Oh, I was about to forget about something, folks. I was just about to forget about something. I put 4 rolls of toilet paper. I put them in water not long ago, just a few minutes ago, and I was going to put them in here as a toilet paper roll, but once I put it in there, it separated. So I'm going to go back in here and put this in with my feeding and see what the worms do to this toilet paper. I've seen other videos where they will, stuff like toilet paper rollers, cardboard. They love cardboard for some weird reason. So I'm going to put a bunch of cardboard, cover it up a little bit, not too, I ain't worried too much about covering cardboard up so much, because if the worm's going to get to it, they'll get to it. All right, there we go. Now I'll put my newspaper back in here. Making a mess here, folks. I apologize for the mess. But my bubble wrap, I'm going to have to get me some more bubble wrap, I said. And folks, that's about it. Today is, let's see, today is July 28th. Is it? July the 28th, Friday. And we'll go back into this bin next Friday and see what they've done. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, my scripture for today, I'm about to read my scripture. My scripture from today is found in Proverbs chapter 5, verse 6. Trust in the Lord with all your might. Lean not to your own understanding. Boy, are we guilty of that. Try to figure things out ourselves when we should be letting the Lord take care of it. But anyway, you folks have a good day. Until next time, this is Larry with Wiley Worm Farm. I'll put some links under here if you also. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. One other thing I want to do is I've got some masking tape down here to identify my bins. I'm going to take that off because it's masking tape doesn't stick like I want it to. So I'm going to put some painter's tape. Painter, if you're using bins like this and you want to mark your bins, I choose to use painter's tape because it can be removed pretty easy. So I think that's one of the handy things. So until next time, this is Larry with Wiley Worm Farm. I will see you on the next recording. God bless you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, if you will, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Thank you. Have a good day.